is 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey folks, how's it going? If you missed our last podcast episode, the launch sequence, I just had wrong way. The pilot. Oh, no, that was the right way. The pilot joined me for a good conversation about working at CIG and general Star Citizen talks. You know how that goes. It's good fun. Go check it out. But now we're doing a little Q&A with supporters here with us live after the show. Anybody who is a YouTube channel member, Patreon, or Twitch subscriber, you guys can join us for this, ask questions with guests, and listen to all of our gossip in between shows. But we've got some good questions today. Pilot, you ready?
Hit me.
All right. So first question is a pretty simple one. Would you join CIG again?
Yes. In a heartbeat.
Would you go same place, or is there another, like, let's say you had any skill set to do anything in the company. Is there something else that you would prefer to do?
I mean, I'm a California boy at heart. I said there's a Los Angeles office. You know, I wouldn't mind working out of Los Angeles. I really don't want I really don't want to go to Texas. Not I really don't want to go back to Texas. I would work in Manchester or Germany though. Absolutely. Or
Okay.
Montreal. Yeah.
Oh, Montreal would be cool.
Oh yeah.
I mean, from what I hear, if you live in Montreal as a game developer, there is no lack of jobs. There's so many big game companies there looking for people, looking for talent.
That is true. You know, I mean, I know a few people up there too. So, and they're good people. So I'd have a lot of fun.
It's an awesome city.
Yeah.
Next one, what was your perspective on CIG after your time at the company?
All positive. I mean, there's the same problems that you would have at any company. Oh, so and so, did this or that. No. Pretty much everything about the company is great. They are good to their employees. They help you minimize crunch. They care about your mental health. I have only good things to say.
It's good to hear.
I met some good friends there too.
Yeah, people you looking forward to coming over to CitizenCon?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I still talk to them.
How has your general view of video games changed over your time in CIG? So I asked about your view of Star Citizen, but I guess overall video games.
It's so much more complex than I mean, I know that game development is complex. I mean, of course, I did the same thing everyone else did at some point where, you go download Game Maker and you try to make something and you realize, wait a minute, I might be dumb. And you just kind of let it go and
That's how it makes you
didn't
feel.
make anything. Yeah, exactly. But it's worse than that. Imagine a room full of people all working on Game Maker, all plugging it away, banging their heads against their desk, trying to get something to work. And when they finish, it's all a part of a different part of a different part of a smaller part of the main big project that's years away. And it's daunting and humbling and kind of awesome.
It's got to be hard to contextualize what that big picture is when you're working on those little pieces.
Very much so. Yeah. Oh, and then it might change. And that's true for any game studio. It might change. So.
Sure. All right, next question is, what are you playing right now?
Ooh. What am I playing right now? I just finished Crying Suns. I thought that was actually really good.
I haven't heard of it.
Really?
Yeah. What kind of game?
You'd like it. You're cryogenically frozen, the Grand Space Admiral's clone, cryogenically frozen on a planet out in the middle of nowhere, and the AI wakes you up and says, "I've lost contact with the Empire, and this is emergency scenario 26B, and I need you to grab the fleet and your crew and help me figure out what happened." It's good.
Huh.
It's little bit of FTL, a little bit of a couple other things. It's actually an older game at this point. It's fun. You'd like it.
Is it like RTS, third person, first person? What?
A little bit of strategy, but it's not that hard. It's actually the actual strategy part of the game is actually pretty easy. You're playing for the RPG elements and
Okay,
kind of following the story. Yeah,
gotcha.
I really think you'd like it. Just give it a shot.
What's it called again? Twin
Crying
Sons?
Sons. Crying Sons.
Crying Sons. Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, next question. Which departments or people's offices did you steal office supplies or donuts from the most?
Ooh. I got a lot of swag from office, from administrative. So, I mean, I never really needed office supplies. It's a modern day company. We're in game development. I'm not stealing a stapler or, pencils or pens or
No
I
donuts?
don't think and I don't think there was donuts every once in a while, little donut holes from the HEB. Um, HEB is a whole different conversation. Yeah. Anyway, I will tell you a fun story though. Since I told you I was hired during COVID, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my first official day, it's now I've driven down to Texas. I've loaded into my new apartment, signed paperwork, and unpacked enough stuff and started to get situated. And the next day is my very first day. And okay. And I show up at the office 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. I think. Uh, I go in there and there's nobody there because everyone's working from home from COVID.
Right. Yeah.
But the admin staff is there, and oh hi John, welcome, this and that, blah 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 blah, and they're giving me the whole tour and the walkthrough, and all four of them are walking me through, and they're talking to me, and everyone's very kind and friendly and making sure I have everything I need. And after a while, I realized we were the only ones in the building, and I was like, are you guys here just for me, just to for my first day? And they're like, yeah. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. No, 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 that's perfectly fine. They got me hooked up with a rig. Uh, I ended up bringing it home and working remotely, 2 miles down the road from my apartment.
Okay.
Um, but the fun part is the swag thing. What have I stolen? Yeah, right. They gave me the welcoming gift because they're a good, nice company. They give every new employee a welcome box, with welcome to the company. I was like, ooh, Star Citizen swag. All right, this is gonna be sweet. And I get this little box and I open it up, and inside is an emergency flashlight / radio, a space blanket, and a couple of batteries. I go,
It's an interesting one.
that's what I did. I went, is there something I should know? And they're like, oh, well, Austin can get cold. So
Oh, right.
I did not know that Texas could get that cold. BTW. That was a interesting surprise.
Either I thought it was something that has started more recently over there. Maybe it's just something that started to be reported on more. But
The freeze.
were you there during the big time when? Oh my gosh, I remember
Mhm.
there was that whole how that person made that post. Huh.
So I thought, you know what? Actually, that's very sweet. They're looking out for my safety. Can I have two because I have a missus at home? And they went, absolutely. And they gave me another one. So I stole an emergency kit there. But the better part was like 2 days later, someone got hired in the Manchester studio, and I'm following people on Twitter and this and that. And they put out a big post. They're like, look at my welcome box I got from SIG. And he opens it up and there's wireless headphones, there's new thing, this and that. There's a whole bunch of hoodies and a book and this and that. And I'm like, what the fuck? What? 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 Yeah,
Like
I post.
I'll go work in Manchester.
Right, for real. I'm like, I got an emergency radio and a try not to die. You know, no.
Well, I mean,
I
I'm glad they're looking out for you. Like that's
yeah.
that's
I did
actually
actually. I don't want to be clear. I did eventually get my actual employee starter pack. It's a very big box and it had the hoodie and it had the whole 9 yards. But you know,
okay.
I was a little. Yeah.
Now that this has come up, and you might not
Yeah.
know anything about this, back when this did happen, there was some kind of post I think somebody made about CIG and having to work in the Austin office when it was too cold and something like that. And like some news publications grabbed onto the story and started to blow it up a little bit, made a fuss about how CIG like didn't treat their employees well or something during the cold. Do you feel like there's any possibility of that?
No. If there's a problem, like if it's that office, the air conditioner would kick out sometimes
Mhm.
in the hot. So you know you're sitting there and you're roasting. I don't consider that to be SIG's fault. I consider that to be the building manager's fault or the building complex. It's inside a Galleria. You know, I consider it their fault. They're the ones who own the building. They do run the maintenance crew. They are in charge of maintenance. It's not CIG, it's them. You know, and stuff happens. But I mean, you know, to their credit, man, like if there was a weather alert or if it was just too damn cold, you know, we could turn around and say, "Hey, I don't really feel particularly safe coming in today." And they're like, "Yep, nope, stay home. It's fine. Work from home."
Pretty good freedom to stay home if you wanted.
Yeah, no, they were constantly looking out for our safety, uh, our health. It was a good place.
Okay.
It's good people.
Next question is, which department tended to have the more fun people?
It was us.
Yeah, I was gonna say QA. It's got to be.
Yeah.
You get to bug everybody.
Come
Do
on
you ever
now.
get the feeling? Do you ever get the feeling that the other development teams that you're doing the testing for have like secret gripes? Like, you got more glitches for me today.
Are you asking me if the people whose work that we completely ruined in the course of less than a day might have had some kind of, you know, secret,
Resentment.
resentment against us? No, I don't think that couldn't possibly be true.
Meanwhile, you're also though having the most fun. So they're seeing both of those things. They're like, yeah, you're ruining my fun and having the most.
I don't know
Infamous
if we had
QA
the
team.
most fun. I would never say that out loud.
Not out loud. All right.
Mm.
Next question. What was your favorite video to make? Star Citizen specifically or otherwise? If you had to go back and do it over again, slightly different, which would you enjoy doing that with? Kind of a double two-parter.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this. I want to know if I can, if you could relate here. How do you feel about making your videos, making your content?
I never feel like it's any good until I watch the video. Like the whole time I'm making the video, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And then I watch it at the end and I'm like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
There are definitely, I wouldn't say there are that many videos that I've made where I think like somebody could ask me, what's your favorite videos? And I'll think back to them.
Yeah. So, like you, I often don't like. I don't like my own work. I just don't. I want to like my own work, but I am proud of certain things, like a certain sequence that I'll edit together or cut together or time to the music or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm exceptionally proud of it. And most people are like, "Why? I don't care." I'm like, "Yeah, fine, whatever." Videos I thought were terrible, just absolutely ashamed to put out the door. People are like, "That's your best one ever." I'm like,
Yeah, I've had that.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's I make these for me because I have to make them because they're in my brain and I have to get them out of my brain.
Which one came out of your brain the best?
Oh, I don't know. Hold on. You know what? I'm actively gonna go look now. Just talk to me for a second.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I still think that when people ask me what my favorite video is, it's like this cinematic video I made of a spaceship probably 2 years ago now. Didn't get very many views. Hasn't gotten that much attention, but man, I go back and I look at it and I'm like, dude, what were you doing that day? That's great stuff. And I do enjoy having videos like that that I can think back to, but I would say the more kind of informative talking videos, there's less that I would look back on and be like, oh yeah, I could watch that over and over again.
Yeah.
It's my own voice. Who likes listening to their own voice over and over again?
Oh yeah, don't you have to like watch your own video like 5 or 6 times? It's just at least while you're
Yeah.
editing it too, and oh my god.
And you're constantly replaying the same words and the same parts, and you're getting the audio down, and by the end of it, you're just like, I hate this person. I hate them. Get them the out of this show.
Yes. No,
Who gave
okay,
this
so
person
you
a
know
mic?
like you get it. You know exactly what I'm talking. Okay, I mean, I could just give you the general answer. Yeah, it's the Federal Corvette. That's the best video I've ever done. It has 592,000 views. See, clearly it's the best.
Nice.
Um, I mean, if you wanted to see more of the Corvette, though, you should go watch the Cobra Mark IV video because I was particularly proud of that one. I thought it was funny as hell.
All
Um,
right.
because I don't have a Cobra Mark IV because very few people do, and it was an exclusive thing, and so well clearly I have to have a substitute. So I substituted the Cobra Mark IV with a Corvette. And I pretended like it was the Cobra Mark IV, and all of my observations about how the Mark IV is actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be, and it doesn't seem to land on the correct sized pads. I thought that was hilarious, but no, nobody really watched it. No.
I mean, that's not what the comments are saying. That's always the thing, man. It's like it could get the least amount of views, but the comments
Oh yeah,
then will always be like, like when you know it's a good video, right? Because the comments will
yeah.
come through and it's like, if you watched it, you know it's good. The people who didn't watch it missed out.
I have a fantastic community. These guys are super supportive and kind, and I don't have I go to some like larger YouTubers and I watch something and their comments are just nasty, nasty mean. Even from supposed fans, and I've always had the best comment section,
Some people
except for
have
the
that kind
occasional.
of,
Yeah.
that like back and forth relationship with the community. I couldn't do it. I would say something and then be like, I'm sorry guys, I didn't mean that. All right. Next question we got. What was your favorite part of Austin that you'd be comfortable telling an out of town tourist to go check out?
Yep.
I think it's the apartment, judging by
I
how
mean,
you talked about that.
no, I mean, look, there's I'm like, oh, I could recommend that park that was near me, and like, my inner thought pops in and goes, oh, you mean the one where the serial killer was dumping all the bodies, a
Oh,
good right before you left, and I'm like, oh yeah, did they ever catch that guy? No, they didn't. Okay, I'm not going to recommend the park. Um, well, there was that place that we like to eat. No, no. Was that place? No. I legitimately don't have a good answer for you.
you weren't a big fan of Austin.
I was not. No. I the problem was is that everyone built it up for me because we were going to Texas. We're going to get good barbecue, good meat, good food,
Yeah, I
and
heard
it
there's
was
good meat.
not.
No, what? How's there not good barbecue in Texas? Were
I
you
said
going to
what
the
I
right
said.
places?
I went to everywhere.
Hmm.
And look, in absolute fairness, it's actually a fairly complicated scenario involving the fact of supply chains, returning from COVID to all these businesses basically cutting and cutting and cutting and so they could survive. And then when business does pick back up, they were subject to supply chains from other companies in the line who also had to cut. And so they're going to take a while to like even get quality back, if they can get quality back. And it's going to be an issue, and it's going to be time consuming, and it takes years to recover from something like that. But the end result is that food kind of sucked.
Man, how would
And
your
I went
Austin
to,
team feel hearing you say that?
oh, they hated me about that. Food was a big topic for me. Imagine that, a guy who looks like me, talking about food too much. Um, no, but they disagreed with me. But I'll also tell you that a lot of them secretly took me aside after the fact, and one on one, they're like, "You're 100% correct." I know,
Man,
but it doesn't do any good to, yeah.
look at this character assassination of Austin.
Uh,
CIG, you need to move your office.
they
They
really
don't have
do.
good food there. Sorry.
My apologies to the city of Austin. I wanted to like you. I just didn't. It's not for me. And that's okay.
Well, then I'm sure you're going to love this follow-up question, our last one. How long were you living in Texas before you switched to a diet of barbecue and six-shooters?
Listen, no joke, because people are proud. Texans are proud. Even when they don't particularly like the state, they're still proud, which I always thought was fun. And every time I ranted about food, someone inevitably would turn around and go, "Oh, well, have you gone here? Did you go here? Did you go there? How about here?" And the consensus seemed to be that after I ran out of ever all the places, I'm like, I went. At one point, someone sent me up for sushi. It was frozen in the middle. Frozen.
I wouldn't think of Texas as a sushi place.
Admittedly, that's on me. Sushi in Texas, probably not the best idea. Fine. But, it is 2023. There are,
They could
whatever. It's
fly it
fine.
in.
For real, come on. I could get sushi anywhere. I can't. It is technically a metropolis, a major city. It's the capital of Texas. I should be able to get a freaking bite anyway.
Yeah, but where's the water? Where are the fish coming from?
Yeah, but fly it in. It's fine. It's fine. It's over. I don't have to worry about it. I would go to barbecue joint after barbecue joint after barbecue joint, and everything's swimming and hatch peppers and sweet sauce. And oh, I just wanted meat.
Good
Meat
brisket.
flavored meat. Yes. I wanted good brisket. I wanted brisket flavored brisket. I don't need sauce on it. I don't need hatch peppers. I don't need freaking loaded down with a bunch of onions that you've roasted in the juices of, caramelized molasses from
Ooh,
the southern
yummy.
part of Texas and blah. Okay, I mean it wasn't terrible, but it's not what I wanted.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
fair.
wanted meat, Anyway, so the best barbecue I ended up having was about 2 hours south of the city. We only ended up going there once, but it was actually pretty good.
Had to go pretty
What was
far,
it?
man.
What was the name of that place? The barbecue place that wasn't actually too bad in Austin. Yeah, I don't remember it either.
Obviously, it was very good.
Yeah, it made a huge impact on us. You can tell.
Yeah, stuck with you.
Anyway,
So, didn't like the food too much. Loved the people, though. Loved the work. But
yeah.
back in California for you, and I guess I'll go ahead and do the last question.
Hit me.
What are your plans for the future? What are you doing in terms of content and I guess your online presence?
Winging it.
That's always fun. There's a better place to wing it. It's or if there's no better place to wing it than YouTube.
Yeah, man. I'm here to talk about a silly video game and escapism and spaceships and Just trying to have a little fun.
Solid.
Yeah.
People like to hear that. I'm looking forward to it, man. I look forward to more of those ship reviews in particular.
Thanks, dude.
But I also am looking forward to some of these things that you've now said that you want nothing to do with until you experience it in the game. I'm excited to hear your reaction to some of those things, because it's like when you're plugged in enough, it is hard to get surprised by stuff in Star Citizen. So it's always nice to hear a genuine reaction.
It'll be good.
All right, man. Well, that's the end of our questions and the show overall today. So thank you one more time for coming and joining me. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks for having me again. And I hope you have a great weekend too.